The blue blur has had a very chaotic history, pun definitely intended. But despite his ups and many downs, myself and a lot of others still unrelentingly love this weird little Mr. Needlemouse. So today, we are taking a deep dive into Sonic the Hedgehog, his history, his impact on media, and how he, with no hyperbole, changed the entire world. But before we get too deep into it, I think it's important for me to establish myself as a subject matter expert. How can you know I'm not some kind of faker? It's a fair question. That wee lad is me at what I did not realize would be the beginning of my end. From an early age, I was very into Sonic the Hedgehog. I had all of the games, I watched both of the TV shows that were airing at the time, and I collected the comics. A lot of comics. Nowadays, I own every accessible Sonic the Hedgehog game. I read the IDW comics, which are actually really good if you haven't given them a shot yet. I've seen all of the shows, and I literally cry every time during the finale of the 30th Anniversary Orchestral Special. My roller derby nickname combines my two favorite things, ska music and Sonic the Hedgehog. I own the Sonic the Hedgehog board game, of which I spent a pretty penny, and I dragged my now ex-girlfriend to the opening of the Paramount movie on Valentine's Day. I pretend the breakup was unrelated, but I think we all know the truth. In case you're not a PogChamp gamer like myself, you may not have heard of this small indie studio called Nintendo. Back in the 80s, they were pretty big, with a whopping 90% market share. Studios like Atari and Namco and Coleco and others were competing to make better games. But Nintendo was just too powerful. Then everything changed when a slot machine company attacked. Sega decided to go after Nintendo in a different way. Nintendo was so recognizable because of their mustachioed plumber with mad ups that they named after their landlord. And so, in 1990, Sega decided to create their own mascot to rival the Jumpman. Naoto Oshima submitted a spiky blue hedgehog who would eventually adapt the name Sonic. Mario has always been a wholesome and helpful guy. He's kind and dependable and would never make fun of your lack of athletic ability.
You're too slow!
Sonic, on the other hand, was the culmination of everything that was totally radical about the early 90s. He had attitude, he was impatient, he would taunt his enemies, and he wasn't afraid of breaking a few rules along the way.
No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me!
Sonic was a counterculture mascot that kids could easily cling to, but most important of all, he was fast. Sonic's gameplay was derived from Sonic's lead programmer, Yuji Naka, his desire to get through Super Mario Bros. Level 1-1 as quickly as possible. Adventure games in the 90s were mostly careful and methodical. In Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past or Super Mario World, you had to be careful in order to succeed. But Sonic the Hedgehog was the F-Zero of platform games. There was no time for guessing, you just had to keep moving ahead. It was a complete and total departure from what platform games were at the time. Currently, there are officially about 100 Sonic the Hedgehog games. This includes the 2D games, the 3D games, as well as compilations and spin-offs. There's obviously no way we can discuss them all, but it's worth taking a look at the overall journey from start to finish. As we all know, Sonic started in 2 dimensions. He thrived there and flourished, jumping and smashing badniks to his heart's content. But as technology improved and consoles started making the move into the 3rd dimension, things got a little dicey for Sonic, even from the very start. However, in 1999, Sega released a game that would kick off a series of unfortunate events for Sonic. This all began with Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure, even to this day, is a pretty divisive game. It has adamant fans and rabid haters. Regardless of anyone's opinion from it, it was undeniably a far step away from all the Sonic games that had come before it. It began a tradition of games that were filled with questionable mechanics, poor graphics, and weird and confusing storylines. And bugs. Lots and lots of bugs. Even if you can get past all those bugs, the game itself has a lot of ups and downs. The most notable departure from the traditional Sonic games that had come before it was the addition of a deep story. Prior to Sonic Adventure, the story of any Sonic game had basically been no more than stop Robotnik from getting the Chaos Emeralds. Easy, simple, straightforward. I get it. But Sonic Adventure's story is a 6-part, interwoven, multi-perspective tale of ancient prophecy, time travel, portents of global destruction, and an evaluation of sentience and an understanding of oneself, and absolutely maddening frog fishing. It's wild. The games which followed it don't stray too far from this path. In fact, every Sonic game from this period is what some might call bonkers. There are plenty of examples of this, but consider this an amuse-bouche of Sonic games lore. Here are some notable examples, with some spoilers if you're concerned about that. In 2001, Sonic Adventure 2 came out, wherein Sonic must clear a case of stolen identity by battling an artificially created ultimate life form with amnesia. In 2006, the game simply called Sonic the Hedgehog, wherein an evil spirit from the future tricks a psychic from the future to travel back in time to kill Sonic, and then he succeeds, but then Sonic is resurrected by True Love's kiss, and then Sonic kills God. In 2008, Sonic Unleashed has Eggman using a giant space laser and the Chaos Emeralds to summon a planet-sized beast who tears the entire world apart, and somehow Sonic turns into a werewolf? 2009's Sonic and the Black Knight has the daughter of Merlin summoning Sonic to her realm to defeat a corrupted King Arthur, and Sonic gains a talking sword friend. In 2013's Sonic Lost World, Eggman brainwashes a group of aliens using a magic conch shell, who then betray Eggman, turn Tails into a robot, Eggman falls into lava. But even from his very start, Sonic would spin dash from games into any other form of media that would have him. Sega knew they had something big, and they were going to boost Sonic into the limelight as much as they could. In 1993, Sonic got not one, but 2 TV shows, and they were airing at the same time, and boy was that confusing for little ol' me. For 2 shows that drew from the same source material, they could not be more different. If you've never seen Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't even know how to describe it to you. It's an absolute fever dream of a show. It was entirely episodic and bizarre from beginning to end. Each episode was a self-contained story of slapstick and goofy shenanigans. But, to its credit, it did end every episode with an educational segment titled Sonic Says, which was the style at the time. It offered some actually very useful insight and genuinely valuable lessons, wrapped in some highly memeable content.
Kids, there's nothing more cool than being hugged by someone you like. But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good.
But even as a kid, I was disappointed by the whole show. It was too weird, too strange. If only there was some way they could control that chaos.
Blue streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic's other show, simply titled Sonic the Hedgehog, or SATAM, because it was Saturday AM, is and was way past cool. It was exciting and dramatic and dark and mysterious, and it did the environmental message a little more subtly than some of our other heroes did. The show lasted a full 2 seasons, but ended on a cliffhanger that myself and a lot of others would have loved to see play out, but we'll loop back to that frustrating conclusion in a little bit. And of course, other more recent shows like Sonic X and Sonic Boom also are very good, but took a different approach.
Not another speeding ticket. I'll fight it in court, but I don't think they're gonna accept gotta go fast as a medical condition.
However, both Sonic SATAM and its ayahuasca-infused partner were both influences in the comic book series, which is full of its own twists and turns in universe and in real life. The Sonic the Hedgehog comics were originally published by Archie Comics, starting in 1993. The early issues were tonally much more in line with Adventures of Sonic, weird and strange and fun, but they still had an underlying lore that leaned more towards Satam series, even from the start. However, around issue 25 or so, there's a very noticeable shift in tone. We start getting insight into the history of the world of Mobius. Some of the plot threads got, frankly, pretty dark and depressing. We learn the origins of Dr. Robotnik and see the creation of Metal Sonic and follow tons of other spin-off series about Knuckles and Tails and even Sally. Now, if you're a casual Sonic fan, you might be wondering, wait, Sally? Who's Sally? Well, when discussing Sonic comics, the story of Ken Penders is a long but unavoidable one. He was an artist and writer for a lot of the Archie Sonic comics, and he created a lot of characters that were integral to the Sonic canon. But between 2009 and 2015, Ken started being a bit of a troublemaker. In an effort to scrub themselves of Penders for good after he was fired, Archie Comics reset the entire Sonic canon, just to avoid having to deal with him or any of the characters he touched. So that's why Sally doesn't exist anymore. She was the main love interest for Sonic, and easily the most important main character behind Sonic and Tails. And then just, poof, gone. But not to be ousted so easily, Penders kept up his maximum effort to be a super big weirdo and make everyone incredibly uncomfortable. No amount of yikes in Mobius is sufficient to deal with this. Jeffrey was an allied rival to Sonic and they had a back and forth, but looping back to what we had said earlier about the Satam series, in 2002, Penders was head writer for Sonic Comics and was consulted on the idea of making a continuation of the Sonic Satam TV show, either as a third season or as a movie. Penders decided to scrap that brain zone and instead pitch his original movie idea, Sonic Armageddon. Now, I'm not here to poke fun at the quality of the animation. For what it is, it's fine. But the fact that Penders ruined a potential third season of Satam just for this is a bad idea in all regards. There's a lot more to unpack regarding Penders, but it's making me upset, so we're moving on. What about the movies?
Of course I want
More Sonic movies.
I love the way you make them!
Not many people know this, but Sonic actually has an anime-styled movie that came out years ago. It's got decent animation and overall a fun and goofy time, plus Sonic in a cowboy hat for reasons I'm certainly not going to question. But right now, the main course is obviously the Paramount movie, which, like everything else Sonic the Hedgehog, had a pretty rough start. As of right now, the sequel has not come out yet, but it will very soon, and I am very excited. Hi, I'm currently editing this video, and I have since seen the Sonic movie twice since it came out. It's very good, go watch it, you'll love it. But for now, it's easy and fun to tear into how awful the original design was for Sonic. With his tender, supple legs and perfect shining teeth, it took everyone by surprise in a very bad way. But, like Frankenstein's creature, we can learn a valuable lesson. That lesson is that fans can drive change. The backlash was so awful, the movie was delayed for months, allegedly costing them millions of dollars in order to create a better design. There's a conspiracy theory that this was all just a PR stunt, considering no living person could look upon this wretch and see any glint of goodness within. I mean, is that true?
I have no idea!
Like with any good fandom, there are arguments and conflicts within. Some people love Sonic Adventure. Others hate it. Some prefer the 2D games and some prefer the 3D. But despite all that, there is one thing all Sonic fans agree on. The music in Sonic the Hedgehog games is legendary. In fact, Sonic tunes made their way into the Tokyo Olympics. But even the chiptunes, from the opening arpeggio of Green Hill Zone to the absolute ripper of Ice Cap Zone, Sonic music rarely disappoints. Still, as the games and technology have evolved, so too has the music. And as much as I desperately want to add another 20 minutes onto this video that has already gone on far too long just to discuss every song, here's a list of just 5 because I had to limit myself somehow. Reach for the Stars from Sonic Colors.
Take off at the speed of sound. Bright lights, the colors all around.
Endless Possibilities from Sonic Unleashed.
Right there for me. The possibilities are never ending. I see it, and now it's all within my reach. Possibilities.
Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2.
Can you feel life moving through your mind? Ooh, look like it came back for more.
Escape from the City, also from Sonic Adventure 2.
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on.
And His World from Sonic 06.
He's a rocket and he's ready to go. Cause now the countdown is sorted and it's ready to blow. He's got the dope sounds bumping in his stereo. Kicking ass fast, putting on a show.
They're all absolute bangers and sound just like normal album released music. But remember, these are video game soundtrack songs. They showed up in the games. Sonic music knows how to set the tone better than any other franchise. Don't at me on that. I'm not willing to fight you. I'm very passive. And so we've reached the end. What a journey. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You certainly didn't need to, but I'm glad you did. Sonic means a lot to me for reasons I still don't fully understand. But for as long as I'm alive, I will love this little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package. And like I said back at the start, Sonic has had a lot of ups and downs over the decades. But the currently upcoming Sonic movie sequel seems really fun. There's a new Netflix show coming soon, and a new game on the horizon. So, I'm hopeful for the future. But who knows? Maybe they will be a disappointment. But regardless, I'm gonna find my own way and take a chance on today, because the possibilities are never ending.